In this video, I'm going to walk through the penetration test I performed on a machine called Build, which is part of the Volnix training environment. I'll explain my testing methodology, the tools and commands I used, the reasoning behind each decision, the vulnerabilities I identified, and the potential business impact. Everything will be explained in clear, simple language so it's easy to follow even without a technical background. My approach to the Volnix build penetration test follows a structured methodology. Identify my own machine, discover the build machine, enumerate services, test access controls, investigate exposed applications, and test for command execution. Establish a controlled reverse shell and document findings and impacts. Uh, this ensures I move from basic information gathering to deeper exploitation only when evidence supports it. So step one, we're going to go ahead and identify my Kali machine. I begin by performing the IP address, confirming the IP address for my Kali machine. This is important because the build machine will later send data back to me. So we're going to do that with an IP A. My Kali machine is now using the 192.168.56.105. Next, I will identify the build machine on the same private network. I use ARP-scan to install all devices connected to list all the devices that are connected to the host-only network. Do that with a sudo scan. This scan shows a device at 192.156.56.106. I verify this is the build machine by matching the MAC address with the one that it shows in the virtual box. We can get into the virtual box through here. Go to the build, settings, network. This one ends in 69 Bravo Bravo. We'll go back to that machine. There it is, 69 Bravo Bob Bravo. So we know that that is our machine. Before we interact with any system, I'd like to confirm that I'm targeting the correct device to avoid accidental testing on unintended machines. For step three, now that I know that the build machine's IP, I'll check what services are running. This helps me understand the attack surface. We'll do that with a, sorry. Right, we're going to let the nmap run. It's probably going to run for a little bit since it takes a while. So we will be patient. The TAC SV on the nmap stands for the service verifications. What it's going to do is it's going to run and see what ports are open and also give me the versions of what ports are open. And this also helps with finding any of the vulnerabilities by using these versions. And I've noticed that this scan takes quite a bit. a lot longer than expected. Let it do its thing now. We can press enter. It'll tell us how much percent is done. Give it a little bit more time. Definitely taking quite a bit of time. We're at 80% though, even though it looks like it's stuck at 80%. All right, and as you can see, we have our open port finally processed and gave us our open port. We have an 80, 135, a 139, a 445, and the 8080. Um, since the SMB is running, we're going to go ahead and do an SMB scan. I'm going to test whether the build machine allows for an anonymous access to shared files. In my last pen test, that was one of the uh, abilities that we were able to do is get some sort of information from the anonymous access into the shared files. So let's go ahead and do that. And we get an access denied. This means that SMB is reachable, but anonymous access is blocked. That's good. It shows some access controls are in place. All right, so now we're going to investigate the build web service port on 8080. Next, I'll check the web service running port on this 8080. So we'll go ahead and what I've already done, because I've been having problems getting in, but you do the HTTP and then the IP address of the attack machine 192.168.56.106 and the port, which is 8080. Now, this loads into a Jenkins login page hosted on the build machine. We're going to try default username credentials on this to see if we can actually get in. Uh, and I was able to with admin. We will sign in. Once we're in here, we can go to Manage Jenkins. Scroll down to the bottom. What we're looking for is a script console. All right, now inside this script, we are going to put in a reverse script that's going to end up giving us root or admin privileges. And to do that, we are going to go to shells.com. We're going to place in our password, or our IP, excuse me. And our IP for this computer is 10.1.6. And we're going to be using port 444. Scroll down a little bit and we will be using PowerShell number 2. All right. And what that does for us when we put in the IP and the port is it automatically puts it inside of the shell here. Then we can go back to our Jenkins and we are going to first, I actually have the script already here. Let's go ahead and paste that script in. However, because I used a different IP on that one, let's go ahead and change it to the correct IP. And then we have our port, the port 444. And before we run the script, we need to go back into our command line. And we need to open up a listener. And what that listener does is it allows the port to listen for the reverse script that we're about to send to it. And it'll start to listen. Now we'll go back to our script here and run it. We're going to check our box and say that a connection has been received. We'll press enter. Who am I? And we see that we are now root or admin. Thank you very much for watching my video, and you have a good night.